Hi there, these are your handover videos for your Buccaneer cruiser. So starting off, pitch head at the front, handbrake just here, jockey wheel which is currently up as it does operate on auto leveling legs. Then you've got your gas bottle locker at the front. We're using our test bottle just here, as you can see. Gas hose connected either side, and then inside here you have your connection for your gas. You can hand tighten that to an extent, then just finish it off using a spanner. Then once you feed gas through, you can see here that it does flick over and turn to green. Now when there's no gas coming through, that will look red. You can't actually use a 19mm drill bit or a leg winder for the legs, as they are auto leveling, which I will show you how to operate as well. On this side, you've got your flue just here. Your flue, you don't have to do anything with it except make sure it's clean. It's used to get clean air in and out of your boiler. Just here, you have your point for your water pump. Water pumps flicks into here, and then you can lock it into place by just pressing down on that head. You have a little plastic cap to go over the top of the acroll to make sure no nastiness gets in, and then your strainer has to sit at the bottom of the barrel. Just next to it you have an external shower point, and then just next to that you have your battery locker. Your battery locker, as you can see here, comes fitted with a battery, and then your point for your mains connection. Moving along the caravan, you've got most movers fitted, and then you've got these 2 points here. These 2 points are where your wastewater will come out of. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to feed into a waste master that you can then empty on site. Then lastly, you've got your cassette toilet. Now to remove your cassette toilet, you press up on this orange handle and pull it out. As you can see, it does also turn into a bit of a suitcase as well. And when you get to your emptying point on site, you twist this head to the side, open it up. You want to tilt it up, and at the same time continually pressing that button to vent. And then I do recommend that once you've done that one time, you swill it out with some fresh water, and again tilt and vent. Then on this cap here you have measurements of both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Fill up your blue chemical into this cap, twist it back onto its point, twist the head back to the side, push it through, and you want to push this orange handle so it just sits behind these white teeth. Then we have your main control panels here. So first up, underneath here, this is your main switch. That being on allows everything to pretty much operate. Then you have some light switches just here, and then you've got this here. Now, a few people may mistake this as a main control panel. What it actually is, this is the control panel for your water pump. So, because your caravan has an onboard water tank, there is a few ways to go about it. You press this down, and that will begin to pump water through. Then you have a few options. You can either use internal, external, or keep it central. If you keep it central, that will directly use water from the acroll to your taps. If you use external, that will take the water from the acroll to your onboard tank. And if you use internal, that will take water from your onboard tank and use it around the caravan. You can see here as well, you can see the current level of water inside the caravan. So 13.6 volts in the caravan and 0% water inside, as we have just drained it off. Now, when you do initially turn on the water pump and you want to use it from the acroll, let's say, you come over to your tap, run your tap on both hot and then cold, run it for about 30 seconds, and what you want is a nice continuous stream. what I alluded to outside, this is your water pump. So, plugs in, and then you can clamp down the top to keep it in place. You have this plastic cap here, which goes over the top of your ack roll to keep any nastiness out. And then you have your strainer here. Your strainer has to sit at the bottom of the water barrel because otherwise it will just gasp air through. So with that, you do have a few choices. Just to do a summary, this is your water pump button, internal for the use of the onboard tank, central just allows you to use the ack roll, and external fills up the onboard tank. Then above it you have your outer control panel. This is for your heating and hot water. This is your main screen here, which shows you a few details like the internal temperature currently being 5 degrees and the external being 3 degrees, which is also why we're not running any water through today. So press menu button and you'll go to this screen here. This top one, this is for the internal temperature that you desire. So I've not had it on for very long, so it does take around about half an hour for it to get to your desired heat, maybe a little bit more dependent on the temperature outside, but this goes all the way up to 30 and starts at 5. Whatever temperature you set it to is what it will get to. Goes up by 0.5 each time as well. Then the shower icon, this is for your water heat, so you can either have it midway or full on this bar. Midway will get the water to around about 50 degrees, and if you get the bar to full, it will heat the water for 15 minutes on a boost setting and then drop it back down to midway. This is ideal for if you wanted to use the shower or something like that. And then these last two here, these are for your energy source. So you can either use gas or mains or a mixture of both. So to choose gas, you press this icon in here. And then to turn it off, you press it in again. If you want to use strictly mains, you can either use 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts. Now do be aware some sites don't have 3 kilowatt capacity, so just check that before you go in. And if you want to use a mixture of both, just press it in. So you can either use 1, 2 or 3 as a mixture, strictly mains or strictly gas. You do have this A here as well. This is additional settings for your water pump. If you'd like to know anything else about that, there is some information in your booklet. Then you have some additional settings such as screen brightness, having beeps, languages, and a few other bits as well. Then when you want to turn the panel off, you just press in on that button and it will turn itself off. And then underneath the right hand side bed, you have these bits here. First up, underneath there, you have your boiler. Then just next to it, you have these blue leads leading to this yellow switch valve. That yellow valve is currently in the vertical position, and that means that if any water in the system, it is getting drained out. If you want water to flow through the system, you just flick it to the horizontal position. It can be horizontal either way. Horizontal allows the flow of water to come through. If you have had it in the vertical position for a while and then just switch it down to horizontal, let the water run through for about 2 minutes before you start running your taps, as it may take a little while just for it to fully come through. If you're not actively using the caravan between November to March, I'd recommend having that up permanently so your pipes don't freeze. And after every journey, you do want to drain off the caravan. Then just these two boxes here, those are your brain boxes for your motor mover. Then here you have all your trips and fuses. All your trips, as you can see, in the upright position, and all your fuses just there. Then here we have your fridge operation. So your fridge, you have a choice of either mains, gas, or 12 volt being your car battery. But first, let's turn it on. So, press in on this button here, press and hold. He says that, there we go. And it will flash up and go to its most recent memory, which is mained on full capacity. To change the power source, you just press in on the icon that you desire. So, press in on gas. Now with gas, you will have to wait for it to tick in. You'll hear it tick in for about a minute or so, and then it will stop. Once it has stopped, that's when you know that the gas is lit on the fridge. You can also see inside, there is lights when the fridge is on. Then you have your car battery icon here. I'm not going to select it just because there's no car battery active, but if I was, you'd hear it sort of beep and flash at me. Then, in fact, I'll do it just to show you. If you hear that and see that, that's when you know something's operating incorrectly in the caravan. Then, if you want to change the amount of power that's coming to the caravan, you press this thermometer here. Press it once, drops it down. 4 bars will chill it quicker. 1 bar will chill it the slowest. Now, on full, it will take around 4 hours for it to fully chill. Then to turn off the fridge, press on that button there, and it turns itself off. No more lights inside. Then you have your gas cooker. So everything here operates on gas, bar the electric plate. So electric plate, you just twist to the side. You can see a little icon there to your desired gas mark. Then for your gas cooker, it's quite simple. It's the case you've got this here that you press in, and you also push in and twist to the side on the dial, and you can hear the gas come through. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like when they're all lit. And here you can see nice blue continuous flames. Turn it off, put it back to the central position. Then again, for the grill, and here you can see the grill, both sides nice and lit. And again for the oven, and here you can see for the oven as well. You do also have this button here which you can press in and turns the light bulb on inside. Back to the central there. Only other real thing to note, don't put that glass plate down until all of those burners are cold to the touch. Now for your handset, for the auto level and legs, you have 2 choices. You can either run it off this remote here, or you have a control panel just here. When you do initially first come to use it, you have to have your nose down, so it is sort of at an angle. You want to turn the remote on, or go to the control panel and turn it on with this button here. Press it in, you can see it ignite. Then when you want to automatically put it down, you put this button here. If you want to manually select, you press in on this and then choose which leg you want to put down. Now for auto, it is just in case you press that and let it sort itself out. Just take about a minute or so. It's not the quickest operation in the world, but it will do the front 2 legs first normally, then finish off doing the back legs. So I'll just show you what it looks like when it's all finished. Here you can see, for a perspective, nice and level. Now if you want to use the remote or use the other one, you can't have them on at the same time. Now when you want to automatically put them up, you press this button here. And as you can see, it will do the inverse. And again, it's not the quickest thing in the world, but it does sort itself out. And that's how to operate your EMP legs.